You have to find something that you care about so much that you're willing to put yourself through the suffering it takes to be good at this sport.
Competing just drives me. I always want to get better and improve myself.
There's this idea of on the other side of the battlefield, there's a true believer who's going through all these really adverse and terrible conditions. And that's who you're fighting. So if you're not training like that person, they're going to win when it comes time to fight because they care more than you.
I truly love the life I'm living, and the motivation is to do it as long as possible.
My name is Chandler Smith, and currently we are in St. Albans, outside of London, England.
Man's back and forth, I'm really the source, I need a new market.
With this year, with WFP finishing up in Copenhagen and that kind of being the big deal that we were orienting our lives around, decided to head over here after WFP 2 in mid-September, and we've been loving it. The first thing we did this morning was to go meet up with our buddy Simon for Movember this year, which is a men's mental health awareness deal that kind of happens over here in the UK.
The challenge is called the 60-60-60 challenge. So I'm doing 60 minutes of running in a weighted vest, 60 minutes of finding space later in the day, away from technology, journaling. But the reason it's 60 is every 60 seconds globally, a man will take his own life.
I need a new spot, I need a new drop, but I got the same target.
We knocked it out, ran 7.5 miles or so.
There are a lot of things that motivate me. It started as a hobby, but then obviously I always want to get better and improve myself. And now making a living out of it is just a dream that I want to keep going as long as possible. I think the moment I could run, I started playing soccer. I also went to try judo with some friends. So when I got 12, 13 years old, I started doing bodybuilding, but neither of them very seriously. In the end, it was judo that challenged me the most. There's always different sparring partners, different techniques to learn. So that got me hooked. I did that till I was 21, 22. I was like a few times national champion, but the sacrifices just came too big. It's a sport that doesn't pay in Belgium, but I wanted to start buying a house, like advance in life. And then just at that point, I found CrossFit. Yeah, I think I miss martial arts. I tried to combine it in the beginning, the first 2 years, but the risk is too high. And also the people that then see me just once or twice a week, they always want to fight. It's just so dangerous to get injured.
I am very, very grateful that I exist at the one time in human history where being good at burpees and hurting yourself on really gnarly conditioning pieces can turn into a sport. Chandler Smith, 2015, Army Wrestling. When I was a wrestler, that's very cool that you don't get tired and that you're really strong, but you gotta win matches. It's all about that sort of output. When I was kind of dabbling with the idea of fighting, I remember the first time I got hit in the button, like hit in the nose, and I was like, this sucks so bad. I really want to cry. This is not for me. Those were kind of the options for folks who wrestled. You either keep trying to wrestle in the Army or you go start fighting. But I came around at the one time where the skill set that I have is rewarded, and it's always been something I've had a penchant for. I used to love running wind sprints when I was playing football in elementary and middle school, and I loved morning conditioning for high school wrestling, and I've always just been the guy who likes to train and do strength conditioning. People have never trained for training's sake before, ever. It's always been training for the sake of improving your output in a sport. Training is what I love to do, and there's an opportunity to train professionally.
Big man ting. Perfect. You done know. Riding in the convertible out here. First workout of the day. Checked off. So I think it is a little bit easier to train for less time for WFP since a lot of the stuff is announced ahead of time and the movement list is out there. Is not particularly good at anything except for fuel economy. Even in a place full of tiny cars though, this car is like exceptionally tiny enough to where guys at the gym love to call me the guy with the car, which is not good. If people are like, oh, you're the guy with the haircut, it's not because they like your haircut. Or if you're in the military, you get a nickname. It's like, oh, they're like, oh, here comes teeth. It's not because you got good teeth.
You got your private driver.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
I try to save every piece of energy.
Competing just drives me. It's always something to look forward to. Yeah, it exposes a lot. Today we started with the pure strength and bodybuilding session. It's also intro week, so the percentages were just up to 80%, pretty low, because the goal is to, like, throughout the weeks, improve them.
What happened to your wrist?
I actually think it started with the prep for Indy. My wrist has a lot of kilometers on the counter, so I need to be careful and always like tape it well or use wristbands.
Push-pull combo. Wrist friendly.
But the first event was with ring muscle-ups and snatches, so then I cannot use my wristbands that I want. There was too much stress on my wrist, and from there on I feel it never really healed. I got the first scan and they said there was nothing to see. If it hurts, it's probably just inflammation and will go away. So I keep training, I keep putting stress on it, and I saw my snatch numbers. I had to go down, and they started to hurt, and then I was ending up at the empty barbell where I could not start the session anymore. So then I wanted a second opinion. They still didn't see anything, but then they decided to give me a cortisone injection before Misa, but it didn't go away, like the pain stayed. Went for a third opinion to like one of the best orthopedics in Belgium.
I've been doing leg extension for like 2-3 months already now, and I maxed it out, so now I have to do single leg. Too strong.
And he saw that over all the months that has passed now, stress fracture has showing up. So now I have a stress fracture in my scaphoid, so it's healing very slowly, and I had to offload it for at least 3 months.
You think you're fit, and then after 10 leg extensions, you're dead.
London is definitely slower than the States. I think there's just like less convenience. The speed limits are slower. People are a little bit more polite. We're also north of the city. We're kind of in the suburbs. So maybe in central London is a little bit different, but everything's kind of just slowed down a little bit, which ironically I think has helped us bring a little bit more intensity to training on a day-to-day basis. Second session, we went to March On Harpenden. That's been our main base of operations out here.
This is the original March On gym. Not quite the original. We actually started in 2016, just in that building there.
When I'm on ball, I'm talking that. Profit off the game, I'll score again. Say no words like your awkward friend. Say you're a king, I'll force that check. Move around me with caution.
Did some lifting that's based around some of the ATHEX lifts, because before WFP 3, we have the ATHEX finals in Birmingham, which is another one of these European events that we've got. So we did some back squatting to kind of confirm our target weights for the finals.
Right when the clock hits 11, everyone's like locked in doing their own thing. So it's different than other training environments where I've been around like maybe more pros, but the focus is still the same, where people have the job to do and they get it done. And I think I'm like a very schedule oriented person, so I thrive in that sort of environment.
ATHEX is a fitness event where they kind of test across 3 different domains. They test strength to begin with, then you go do conditioning, and after you're done with that, rest again a little bit, and then you finish with a Metcon. It's kind of pretty condensed. You do all that within a couple hours. Then we did some strict pressing at our openers. I like to try to be one of the early ones to try things out, and the concept seems good, just like Hyrox did back in 2020. You can get into something as it's kind of growing and coming up. It's a fun feeling to watch how quickly it advances, and yeah, we've really enjoyed training for that a little bit as well.
What are you about to do?
8 rounds of 2.5 minutes on the echo, 30 seconds rest, I'm running some sort of echo bike progression pretty much all times. It shows up over time, and it's probably the thing that's least advantageous, least favorable for guys of my size in the sport. So I have to put a lot of work into it to stay proficient. So today we're doing it.
Cut the foolishness. Don't get tricked by the appearance. I ain't new to this. True to this, willing to do the ludicrous.
The biggest motivator, I think, for me on a day-to-day basis to continue to do what I do is the fact that I get to spend pretty much my whole day with my wife. When you marry somebody, that person's your best friend. Jessi's my best friend. From the time we wake up till when we go to sleep, I'm spending my whole day with her, and I know that that's super abnormal from a job perspective, so my motivation is to continue to keep doing this, because why would I want to have a job where I don't get to spend time with the person I care about the most?
I'm good. It's cold in here where
Jessi,
I'm hot, but I'm not so.
4 calories on you.
You don't need to tell her where I'm at. Chan told Jessi where I'm at. I'm only 4 calories ahead of her, which I was hoping to keep private.
I was definitely rough around the edges in ways that are really acceptable in the Army and maybe less acceptable in polite civilized society. And she's helped me, be able to integrate myself into that, but also hasn't kept me from losing my edge in a competitive sense.
I get to spend 6 hours a day with my wife every day. That's awesome. That alone is worth working towards, but there's still some things to prove to other people. I'm at a point where I'm not at my absolute career peak. I still feel like there's longevity peaks to be gained now. I would have dreamed as a kid of being one of the best in the world or something, so I'm just trying to be one of the best in the world for as long as I can be, and so far it's still working out.
Calculate and execute. Targets are marked, then the next is you attract.
You have to find something that you care about so much that you're willing to put yourself through the suffering it takes to be good at this sport on a day-by-day basis. If you don't have something you care about that much, then you're not going to try the same way as the person who is willing to do anything and not make any money and sleep on the couch and all those things that I did when I was maybe coming up in the sport. That person is who you're competing against.
Gotta go through the pain, holding out in the rain, never losing my aim, put to use what I trained, never move, been straight, what was due has been paid, now them fools feel the blame.
Something from the Army days that folks would talk about where there's this idea of on the other side of the battlefield, there's a true believer who's going through all these really adverse and terrible conditions, and that's who you're fighting. So if you're not training like that person, they're going to win when it comes time to the fight because they care more than you. For me, the thing that I care about to that degree is proving more to myself at this point that I can continue to be one of the best people, because I think longevity is something that speaks for itself.
But I kind of love this moment, laying down, looking at the ceiling, and just taking in the gym vibes and energy, and just remembering how lucky we are to be able to do this, to push ourselves this way.
So the season in Indianapolis went pretty good. Will always manages to put something in there that exposes my weaknesses. I'm pretty good overhead, let's say, with a barbell, but make that 2 dumbbells and then I'm screwed. The last event was double dumbbell overhead lunges. It was not a test of fitness for me, it was just a test of how long can I hold the dumbbells here. I've been working hard on that, but I'm not at the point where I can just lock the dumbbells and go. So I have top finishes, either top 10 or either bottom 10. Long endurance events who go very well. Then you have 1 rep maxes who put me back.
I don't think there's going to be any stopping Chandler Smith. Oh, yes, sir.
I was still mostly training for Hyrox at that point, so I had no idea how this sort of more Metcon-oriented style of fitness was going to go. Things actually went pretty well. I finished 14th, and that was kind of unexpected.
Jelle getting in there as well.
And then for Misa, I already started to struggle with my wrist. I think I was in the best running shape ever, where I could almost beat Ricky, and my goal was to take him over at the end. But then I turned up to the finish behind Ricky, and I saw photographers and everybody lined up. So I said, okay, now it's go time. And I start to sprint, and then I reach the photographers, and then I see another a Red Bull arc. Fuck, my legs are gone. I was watching over my shoulder to the shadow of Ricky.
put all the time and energy that we had into it, and I actually finished one spot worse, which is hilarious. Finished 15th at Tour Stop 2. I've been very consistent, but maybe not as consistently, placing as consistently high as I would like to. So the goal for this one is to improve my season placing. Right now I'm sitting, I believe, tied for 14th on the rankings, and it would be nice to climb up a couple spots. So that's what we're aiming for.
How much do you cook every day? Is this normal?
No, normally it's just twice a week.
So I'm pretty much trying to optimize my recovery all the time. First, that started by cutting hours at work 2-3 years ago, to optimize my nutrition, to optimize my sleeping schedule. But once I quit my job, I got like a lot of more time free. I'm always looking for the extra percent, the extra edge, like what makes me recover faster. I think we started with the sauna. Now the recent addition is the hyperbaric chamber to heal the wrist faster. And maybe if it works well, just to optimize recovery in daily life. Everything is about training, but recovery decides how much you can train. I think it goes hand in hand.
How do you feel?
This is how I was born. If you do it right before exercise, that your oxygen levels are elevated, like for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard to take to the finals with me.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. So we got chicken souvlaki every time. I always eat the salad first. Got chips, got some pita. I normally just do fries. I just call the fries chips. I'm a local. The game is to get here as fast as possible after the first session, so that way the food can digest and be ready by 3 o'clock. Because right now it is 1:30 and session 2 starts at 3, so you gotta throw down.
Do you get cookies every day?
No, of course not. No. I eat the food that Jessi tells me to take from home. We found some good spots between San Diego, Alpharetta. Jessi, between the last 3 places we've lived.
Okay, if I had to pick, I would go here, then
here,
Atlanta, and then California and Boston. Like,
okay. It sounds like, again, recency bias because you just did it in reverse order of the places we've been.
Yeah, 100%.
Yo.
You did bodybuilding when you were like 12 and 13?
Don't call it bodybuilding, it's just, you know, when you're like 12, 13 years old and you just want to get a little bit bigger because you grow so much in the height, but like the rest weights, and you look long and skinny. And also in judo, because I was so long, they put me a class higher, and I got just thrown around for 2-3 years. So I wanted to be a bit stronger, and that's the reason I started. And I actually never stopped, just different versions of weight training.
Do you think there's some element to that because your father was so successful in the NFL that you want to be successful for a long time in this sport?
Oh, 100. My dad's success as an athlete and his approach to life off the field pretty much informs everything I do as an athlete. The average NFL career, I think, is like 3 years long, and something my dad was always proud of was the fact that he was able to stay in for 8 years. If I can get in a place where I have the contract and I'm competing next year for WFP as well, then I'll hit 10 years of competing against the best folks in the world. Like, to me, that is significant, it's important, it's something I've turned into a career that helped me get out of the Army, helped me meet my wife, is hopefully helping me set up conditions for a future family. And then also leaving a competitive legacy, but also more importantly, a legacy off the floor. That all comes from being able to continue to compete in a way that allows your voice to remain important in the space.
Look to workout, you always see like the limiters. By example, the 100 handstand push-ups, obviously. The limiter is for me the handstand push-ups. When there aren't really limiters, when it's just like grunt work, then I think I can with everything. Just when it's like a mental game, like on machines, by example, you can always push a little bit harder.
I also want to be better than him. If you have siblings or family or anybody who does something, it's not enough to just go do the same thing that they did. All my cousins and relatives were in the military or on the enlisted side, so in my mind I was like, I want to be an officer, so I outrank them. I think just as a competitive person, you're always looking to one up and beat people around you in any way that you can. I don't know if he would say that I'm a better athlete than him, but I certainly want to make it a discussion.
But there is something about martial arts where you just fight and you cannot think about anything else. Oh, I will do rowing intervals, and it's easy to get in your own head. With martial arts, you have to be present, otherwise, if you think about what you're going to do tomorrow, you get wiped and...
Oh, let's go. That worked.
Is that high?
I mean, it's high, but it's stable, so it means the paces are good. The more samples you take, the more things you see, and the more you just want to forget about it, because it's so hard to see a correlation between paces, performance, lactate. It's crazy. Just if you didn't sleep well, if you eat something different, if you had a session in the morning, if you didn't.
I don't know, there's a big like, try to leave machines better than you found them, and ask the people on Invictus, nobody cleans a machine better than me, and I also sweat on them the most, so I feel like I owe them the best clean of the week if I'm getting them sweatier than anybody else.
That.
What's up?
You owe them that.
Yeah, exactly.
I was more curious as to why this cleaning frenzy doesn't exist at home as well, but we are working on it.
Do you join Jelle sometimes on workouts?
I did last Saturday, and it was hard.
So Zoe I would not stand where I stand now without her, because she's so supportive.
This is meal prep for the week.
3 days.
She went to my first international judo competitions, and now we are just traveling the world doing CrossFit competitions at the highest level. Everything I eat, she eats. She follows my sleep schedule.
It's ribeye from a local farmer, and he puts all his cows online. And when it's like fully sold, then he kills it, and then he sends it out, so it's like always fresh. The freezer is always stacked with ribs. This is minced beef, like chicken, pancakes, and croque monsieur.
Oh, nice, lekker. It's almost like Brian Shaw's.
And this, fresh salmon.
Wow. And it's all from the same butcher.
Oh, this is a good one. 2 kilo brisket. And this is the secret one.
When I got the altitude tent, for example, she slept with me in it, and it's ruined her recovery, and she went to work wrecked. I'm not sure if many wives would like to do that.
It's a barbecue showdown. That's what are we looking for? What temperature are you looking for here?
This one needs to be at 48, 50, and then we can sear it down.
When I'm invested in something, she knows I believe in it, and she just stands behind me, and that's crazy valuable to me.
On Sunday evening, I am taking the train under the English Channel, heading to Belgium to go train with my good buddy, Jelle Hoste.
We are almost at Lille, Europe, picking up Chandler for training week. Every conversation I had with him, he's such a good guy, so... And I think it's genuine. He's not playing a character, I think he's a very good person.
Jelle is the only person in the sport who I think could beat me up, and so I am terrified of him.
We pick Chandler up here, then we go directly drop his stuff at my house. And I know a lifeguard in Izehem from the swimming pool that is also coming to watch the finals. And he basically proposed like, hey, are you testing the first workout at the pool? I can open the pool for you guys if you want. And yeah, we accepted the offer, so at 4 we go to the pool.
Yo, how are you? What's up, man? Yeah, it was really smooth.
I love the act of getting to go to different places and learn from people's processes. I would argue I've probably trained with more high-level competitors than anybody in the sport. I've been to darn near every camp and picked up a thing or two from pretty much everybody, and I'm really excited to learn from someone who I respect as much as Jelle.
Yeah, perfect.
I just wanted to bring one because I don't want to have to ski with Jelle, but he wanted to bring both because he wants to hurt my feelings to start the trip.
How cool do you think it is that you get to actually test this?
I think it's pretty unique. I mean, to be able to have a van, to be able to bring the ski ergs over, and then the space these guys are nice enough to let us use, it's not common. I was definitely not anticipating getting a test in this, so even when Jelle first, him and I first talked about getting together, when he said there was a possibility that if I got here on Sunday night we could do it, I was like, dropped everything, try to make it happen to get here, because yeah, this isn't an opportunity that I imagine everybody's going to get.
Jelle is a phenomenal swimmer, and he's phenomenal in the machines. I am not really either of those things, so it's going to be a ritual pantsing on his end.
The funny thing is, his weakness is like endurance, and his strengths are like being strong, and for me it's the opposite.
I either got to outlift him, WFP 3, or I'm going to beat him up, because I can't outrun him.
That's 1 for wrestling, 0 for judo.
I have a little bit of a risky strategy going into the finals. Usually I always focus on my weaknesses, which all involve my wrist, which I cannot train now. So now I like switched that around. And I'm doubling down on everything I'm good at.
When people are making the argument for who's really good at something, they talk about either like the highest peak or the most sustained one, and I'm trying to sustain my peak that I feel like I've been at for the last few years. Right now I'm sitting, I believe, tied for 14th on the rankings, and it would be nice to climb up a couple spots.
My goal is like to make my top 10 finishes like top 5. I'm confident even with one healthy wrist I can stay in the game for next year. I am trying to hold on the top 20.
Jelle, the sprints to the finish.
I wanted to be top 10 because like that was always my goal. When I feel like I'm all in on training, I believe myself to be one of the 10 best people in the world at this style of fitness that we do. Success looks like being able to still get fitter every day and not do it in a way that compromises my ability to be a person outside of the gym.
Vi ses I Copenhagen.
Vi ses I Copenhagen.
Why did you say that? Girl.
Vi ses I Copenhagen.